Here's a demonstration of why people complain about getting South Spawn on Mountain Pass. My platoon, myself, Desua, and Sterling Archer have been pitted against Morgoons, Carinus, Charnik, and Garrigus, who were unfortunate enough to draw the short straw and get the shit spawn on this map. Now, when I say shit spawn, I mean really shit spawn. You're about to see why. North has, and has always had in fact on this map, an enormous advantage over South, simply because, as we leave spawn, we have a clear shot all the way across the centre into the south, where the enemy team will be crossing broadside to us. We have a much better position to shoot from too. Look, we've got hard cover here, we've got camouflage, we've got a perfect position for our light tanks to scout from. And so here we go. Charnik gets trapped behind the 54E1, or trapped behind it, it gets trapped. And then they've already lost the 54E1. They're about to lose their Rheinmetall, there it goes. Charnik's lost about a quarter of his health already, simply because the guy in front of him got tracked and he couldn't get past him. And you can see even the puppies are cognizant of the fact that this map's hideously imbalanced, which is impressive since most of the time they wouldn't know balance if it slapped them in the face. With 2 high-tier enemy tanks removed from the roster, and shortly 3, my platoon now pushes down the west. Sterling stays around D2 for a minute. Myself and Desua just get straight into it. You want to push in and clean these guys up. You can see Carinus has lost a lot of hit points as well. Neither him nor Charnik fared very well in that crossing. And oh look, most of the enemy team is piled up in D8 on Ice Road, which is a terrible position by the way. They can't go up Ice Road without exposing themselves to our guys there. They can't avoid being shot from the middle easily. It's just a bad position. So you want into Charnik. And then decide, fuck sitting around sniping, I'm just going to push. The Conqueror doesn't have much armor, but it does have a decent amount of hit points. It also has a very, very good gun. And it fires very well on the move. So I lead off, Desua follows. The enemy M103 is across the bridge for all that matters. He's about to get swarmed by T-54s. 3 of them, in fact. I pop out around the corner, put a quick one into Charnik. I get racked by him, but managed to drop my repair kit. He gets another into me, but it doesn't really matter, it's over at this point. Desua pulls in, finishes him off, not even stopping, just fires on the move. Of course, when goon on goon violence occurs, there has to be some talking. Doesn't take long for this Black Prince to get dealt with by Desua. The enemy T-34 actually is a 43%er sitting up on that ledge firing gold. A couple of points I should get out of the way here. First of all, if you're that bad at the game, firing gold isn't going to be of any benefit to you. All it's going to do is make you flat broke. Don't do it. Second of all, that's a terrible position. He is hull down, kind of. Like when we get closer to him, he's hull down. Well, he's not hull down to the D50 position behind us. So really, that position's only useful for a very limited amount of time, and if you're firing enemy tanks in H6 from there, you've already lost the game. And then, if those tanks manage to get under your gun without being killed, this will happen. They'll just drive up the ramp and shoot you anyway. The enemy team actually did push Ice Road, and got about halfway up it before getting just held up by the tanks in front of them, and then had Sterling driving on and shooting back. Ice Road, I would say, is not really viable on this map. It used to be a long time ago when this map was first added, but for the longest time, the West Road has been where it happens. Really, the only reason to go Ice Road is if you're actually losing West Road and there's a chance you could recover it through Ice Road. But in this case, they couldn't. They just didn't have the force there to do it. But, like I said, they were kind of fucked at the beginning because they got South Spawn. South Spawn is very weak. It can't defend its cap very well. For instance, if they go Ice Road and then turn around to defend cap, they can be shot from mid. If they go west and turn around to defend cap, as they cross that gap, they'll be shot in the sides. And, I mean, Bridge is a non-starter, so it's really not a good spawn to have. It can be made to work with good players, but in the case of a team which actually spots and shoots those targets crossing, there's not much you can do. And unfortunately I missed the opportunity there to wash the bat off my tank. But nice quick match, all over in, what, 5.5 minutes? It's pretty typical. If you get even a halfway decent team, they don't have to be really good, just halfway decent on Mountain Pass, North Spawn and your top tier, you can just bulldoze straight through the entire enemy team, especially if they make like that team and send all their really heavily armoured heavy tanks down middle or up Ice Road, which is basically taking them out of the game. With that said, you know, they couldn't really push west, but say if they'd held up their E75s and M103 around there, it would have made it difficult for us to push in on Charnik and Caranus. Once we got to about that point there, along the 5-6 lines, there was nothing they could do to stop us. That lone T-34 certainly wasn't going to do shit. So, I don't think there's much chance of this map getting fixed for a long time, honestly. It's had minor changes over its lifespan, like really, really minor ones, but the enormous imbalance between North and South has never ever been redressed. I don't think it probably will for at least a couple months, probably longer. I wouldn't be surprised to see this map in its current form like a year or so from now. It's just one of those maps that I guess most people don't complain loudly enough about, so Wargaming don't fix it. But they did at least remove Encounter on this map, which was also imbalanced to North, funnily enough. There's a small lip of rock right around there in D5, where my cursor is, and because the cap circle was in the center and it took into account both the bridge and the valley, essentially you could park a small tank, say a T-71, any light tank really, or a very small medium like a T-54, you could park it behind that rock, and as long as you defended this road, you could not be reset except by artillery, even by most artillery because their arc was too low. But if the enemy tried to reset from bridge or tried to reset from the gap over here, they actually couldn't hit you because the rock covered your tank entirely. Meanwhile, South Spawn had no such advantage. They had to drive fully into the open to cap. So they removed that, but the standard battle game mode is just as broken in favour of North and hasn't seen any changes. This map, I don't even remember when Mountain Pass was added to the game. It was a long time ago, back before physics, back before even camo paint was added, I think. So it would have been, in fact, I think this map's been in the game since beta, or at least since, you know, like very early after release, and it's never been fixed. Hopefully one day enough people will complain that Wargaming will actually get off their asses and do something, but I wouldn't cross your fingers and hold your breath for it.